tell you something, brother. This is Arcadiology, dude, where we dig up all of your favorite arcade relics. My name is the immortal Hulk Hogan, brother, otherwise known as Jordan Carruthers, and I'm joined by my three favorite Hulkamaniacs, the Wigan Brothers, brother, Big Boss Brad,
What's up?
Sergeant Sky,
Hi.
and the ultimate Kyle.
Oh, so, brother.
What's up, brother? What you gonna do when Arcadiology runs wild on you, brother? Okay, I'm done. We're done with that. Hulk had his moment. He's off the show.
Maybe take a drink of water real quick on that.
Oh man, I didn't. You know what? I didn't grab a bottle of water before we started, but that's okay. I'll just survive it. I think we got this. How we doing, boys? How you feeling?
Feeling pretty good.
Feeling all right.
I've been better, dude. I think I'm sick.
Damn, dude, what's wrong?
I think I have like a head cold or something.
Oh man, I'm sure Hulk Hogan screaming in your ear didn't help you any.
Yeah, it definitely works.
Man, whatever helps, man. Hulk, the Hulkster's here for you, brother.
Just needs a good headlock, that's all.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna give him the leg drops. What I'm gonna give him, brother. Oh boys. Okay. Now that we got that part out of the way, I just had to, get through that. Tell me, boys. As always, we always ask this question: what else you boys playing besides for our game tonight?
I've been playing this indie game on my Steam Deck. It's called Carto, short for, I'm assuming, cartographer, like a map maker, because that's pretty much the basic mechanic of the game. You you collect different pieces of a map, and then you pull up the menu, and you can rotate them, shift them around. You gotta kind of solve different puzzles depending on they'll tell you they'll give you a clue, something I don't know, you'll find the house by the river in the bushes, so you gotta rotate the pieces so the river and the bushes are side by side. Then it'll have a house will pop up. It's that's just an example of one of the things, but it's pretty fun. It's not super hard or anything, but it's just a fun game just to chill and play.
You seem like you're good at finding those random indie games I've never heard of before.
Yeah, I'm always digging around trying to find something else.
I keep it to the classics, man. I don't expand too much. I kind of just play the stuff I already know.
Yeah, I'm always just looking for something different, something I've never heard of, or something that I feel like most people haven't found yet.
There you go. Who else? Who's up? Sky, what you got?
I'm still playing the same games as last time, man. I haven't branched out yet.
No, yeah, that's fair.
Nothing new
Why
this
don't you
week.
refresh my memory here?
I've just been playing Dragon Court. It's this really old school game from the 90s I used to play when I was younger.
Hell yeah, brother. So, hey, Kyle, I think I know the answer, but what you playing over there?
I'm hesitant to even admit this, but I accidentally played Fortnite.
Ugh,
Oh no.
gross.
So
Gross.
I've actually been playing a little bit of Fortnite every now and then.
Ugh.
Don't tell Eli yet, though. I gotta train so I can 1v1 him.
Oh,
Yeah,
boy.
can't be going in rusty.
Might have to explain for the listeners who Eli is.
Oh, Eli's Brad's son, who wants to 1v1 me and everything.
He's the Fortnite goat, from what I understand. He'll
Yeah.
tell you that at least.
Oh, for sure.
You're gonna hear him upstairs just raging out.
Mm-hmm.
When did Kyle get so good?
Talking smack about Kyle's mother.
He did beat me in the last 1v1, so I'm gonna have to redeem myself.
Oh, man.
Oof. Oh, man, that's rough. He's 10, right?
He's pretty serious about it, though. He's been playing it for years. He hasn't ever stopped, really.
When's Eli going to be on the show, man?
I don't know. He wants to be on, so we'll find somewhere to squeeze him in.
I bet he does, man. We'll get him in here for sure. I'm down. Well, for me, I got to be honest, man. Brad will understand this because we have basically the same job. I really haven't had time to play pretty much anything other than our game for the show. So, to be honest, man, just whole lot of nothing. I've just been working, playing this game a little bit, and here we are now. That's about it.
Yeah, I usually squeeze my extra game time in during breaks. I know exactly what you mean. It's hard to find some extra time to get it in.
Yeah, for those who are listening and don't know, Brad and I are pretty much Santa Claus at this time of year.
Yeah, basically.
All right, boys. Anything else? Anything else you want to add in there, or we ready to hop on in?
Let's get this over with.
Oh, brutal, man. That's exactly how I felt last episode. Fair enough. If we're all ready to go, then we're going to get started with the reason that we are all here tonight. The game of the evening is WWF Wrestlefest, brother. WWF Wrestlefest is a professional wrestling game, big surprise, released in 1991, which I must say is a good year. A lot of good things happened in the year 1991, just saying, by Technos Japan. It is the sequel to the 1989 released WWF Superstars. The game features 10 selectable superstars, as well as the Legion of Doom, who are unplayable boss characters that you face at the end. So there's 2 game modes, the Battle Royal mode, that's not the one that we did, but that's just the one where you eliminate all the other competitors, so you're the last one in the ring. Then the mode we did, which is Saturday night's main event, you're selecting 2 wrestlers to be a tag team. You make your way through 5 tag team matches, ending in a tag title match against the Legion of Doom. From what I've seen people say, you're supposed to technically play through this game twice to quote-unquote beat it, so you're doing 10 matches. We did not do that because it kind of seemed like it would just be repetitive. I mean, at least maybe some of these guys did it. We didn't do it for our official score. It just seemed like you'd be doing the same thing over again, so we just did those 5 matches. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to list off the playable wrestlers in the game, and then I want you boys to tell me who your go-to choice was for your tag team. So we have, of course, Hulk Hogan, the Ultimate Warrior, $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase, Big Boss Man Jake the Snake Roberts, Earthquake, Mr. Perfect, Sergeant Slaughter, then Smash and Crush from Demolition. So hop on in there, boys. Who'd you use for your tag team for this?
I started off, I actually played through it twice. My first run, I started off with Hulk Hogan and Warrior.
That's fair. That kind of seems like I feel like they're the 2 most recognizable.
Yeah, I don't really know much about wrestling, but I don't even know who Warrior is, but I was like, he kind of looks like a warrior. We'll go with him as my second guy.
The funny part is you picked probably the 2 worst real life people that you could have played as, but that's okay. We're gonna ignore that.
As in, like, they're just terrible people, you mean?
They're terrible. They're both kind of terrible people. Hulk Hogan is he doesn't want his daughter dating a specific group of people. And the Ultimate Warrior he doesn't like a different specific group of people altogether. I'll just let you all look that up yourselves if you want to. But they're not the greatest people.
And I agree. I mean, we should probably stop using brother.
Brother.
So he says it way too much. It's offensive. I don't like it.
Warrior. I think Ultimate Warrior was like diving into politics or something. And let's just say he was extraordinarily conservative. And I'll just let you guys kind of guess where I'm going with that one for who he was hating on.
Interesting.
So anyway, let's focus on the game again, I guess. I apologize for getting off track there, but who else did you guys use?
I played as Mr. Perfect for obvious reasons. And Sergeant Slaughter.
Okay. Not bad, not bad.
Well, I'm going to jump in real quick. That's what that's who I happened to use for my second playthrough. Just randomly happened to be the same pairing.
All that same duo.
Yeah.
I just used Sergeant Slaughter and Earthquake.
Very nice. For all of my playthroughs, I stuck with the two guys I actually like the most, which is Mr. Perfect and Jake the Snake Roberts. They were fun to play as. Any thoughts about the game, guys? I know I'm pretty sure you all have some pretty strong feelings about it. If any of you guys just kind of want to go off right now, by all means, feel free. Because I think I had my moment for going off on all the platforming games. Now we got something different, and I know you guys have some strong opinions here.
All right, I'm about to go off, dude. Are you guys sitting down?
I'm sitting, yeah.
This is the worst game I've ever played in my entire life.
Seriously?
This felt like this didn't feel like a game at all. This felt like it was designed as like a torture mechanism.
Wow.
Like if you committed like a heinous crime, they'd put you in a room with just this arcade, and you couldn't leave till you beat it.
Oh no.
That's how bad this was.
I'm committing all the crimes then. Damn.
How many quarters do you get though during that torture session?
It's just infinite lives, and you just keep going forever.
What about you said until you beat it?
Well, you just keep going. It's like depending on your crime, you have a sentence.
Oh,
So you have like a 2-year sentence. You just play it for 2 years.
I was gonna say, how many times do you have to beat LOD if you committed murder?
I don't know. I'd murder myself probably.
Oh.
Oh man.
Oh boy.
It just felt super slow. Everything was so sluggish and slow. It just felt like pretty much all you do. I mean, there's a couple different things you can do, but for the most part, you just keep pressing punch until you win. That felt like pretty much the main thing you did.
Yeah, so I mean, I can kind of go through a little bit of like the way the game works for anyone who hasn't played it. So there's really only 2 buttons, a punch and a kick button. More or less, what's going to happen is the main thing you're going to do is you're going to grapple with your opponent, which just happens automatically as you get close to them, and you're going to button mash the hell out of the button to win the grapple. Essentially, I don't know. Sometimes it feels like you can mash it like crazy and still lose, but you're really pounding this freaking button, man. I tell you. Literally, every time I was done finishing the game, my right arm, it genuinely looked like I did like an hour arm workout with my right arm. It was so pumped and swollen and veiny because I'm just absolutely going ballistic on the buttons, trying to button mash during these grapples to win. So anyway, there's that. You can tag your partner in the corner. I think you just walk up to the corner, press the punch button, and that tags them in and whatnot. You can pin your opponent with the kick button if they're on the ground. You can put them in submission holds when they're on the ground, etc., etc., etc. Guy, what are your general thoughts here? You haven't really gotten into it yet.
I mean, I'm kind of the opposite of those guys. I think this is the most innovative game I've ever played.
Okay, how about a real answer?
Like a plot twist, Alien Syndrome, JJ Squawkers, bye bye.
See, I fully
Because
agree.
this game is moving in, baby. Nah, this game sucks.
See, like, this was my favorite one that we played. I thought this one was the most fun. And it's not just because, like, I'm the wrestling fan in the group. Like, I genuinely actually enjoyed this game the most.
I can see it being fun with, like, sitting around with your buddies playing it, and maybe it'll be fun for maybe 10 minutes, but I will never play this by myself again.
Never at all. But you're still out there playing Alien Syndrome, and Brad's playing Squawkers on his break at work, and you guys just will never, ever touch WrestleFest ever again.
I mean, like Brad said, or no, you said there's only like 2 buttons, punch and kick. So it's like, that's all you can do. I pretty much had no idea what I was doing just about every time. I just smashed buttons until the dude fell on the ground, and then I pinned him. Like, I didn't even know the mechanics of, like, I would try to pin the guy, and then his other dude would run over and just like kick me off. So I'm like, all right. So I tried to pin him close to my guy. So whenever his tag team partner comes in, my guy would jump over and fight him. I thought he would hold him off, but then the dude on the ground still got up. I was like, how do you just pin this guy?
It just, I wish they would have showed, like, the enemy, how you have, like, an energy bar at the top that depletes as you go.
Yes.
It's like your HP, but you don't die. It just, like, makes you, I guess, weaker, or you can probably get pinned if it's the whole way down. But the enemy, it didn't show an energy bar or anything, which I wish that was there. It would have made it a little easier to understand when you could actually defeat them.
I agree. So yeah, just to kind of give a better idea, because obviously I don't know how much any of you guys looked into it. Of course, Sky didn't, but he just kind of went for it. So the general thing that's going on here, so as I said, whenever you get close to your opponent, you're going to automatically grapple, and that's whenever you want to button mash. So the lower your opponent's energy or stamina is, the better the move is that you'll do to them, is what I understand. And then if it's really low, if you can maybe keep them in the ring for a long time and wear them out, then doing that will actually have your character hit their finishing move, which is going to give you a much better chance to pin them. And yeah, whenever you go for a pin or a submission, then your opponent's tag partner will get in the ring to try to stop it. And it actually gives you temporary control of your tag partner to come in the ring and stop them from stopping the pin, essentially.
Yeah, I didn't notice that at first until I realized I was controlling the other teammate. So whenever I was trying to pin someone, I just kept smashing A. I was like, maybe this will make me pin better. But really, it's just my dumb guy in the corner just kept punching and not fighting anyone.
Yeah, you kind of switch control.
This makes so much sense now. Because every time I go to pin this guy, his teammate would always come in and stop me every single time.
Yep.
And my teammate would always just stand behind me doing nothing until the guy came over and like kicked me. And then he would like, I would get up after that and then he would like start doing something. I'm like, why does this guy always just watch me get kicked in the face before he does anything? I had no idea I was controlling him as well.
Yeah, I didn't realize that at first either.
You guys just didn't even like look into the game at all. You just went in. You just said, "I just want to get this over with. Let's just do it and move on to the next one."
That's not true. Listen, I looked into the game. I looked into when you're launching the game, like when you hit the pause button, it brings up like this separate menu. I was looking through there because it looked like it was going to tell me all the controls and stuff. So I started going through it, and I'm going to be honest with you, it was like a schematic of like the arcade and how it works and how to set it up, like if you were like owning the arcade and how to like, you know, make it like one coin does this and all this. It was like describing all this stuff with the arcade. That was so much more interesting than playing this game.
Wow, you are brutal.
I found myself scrolling through. I was like looking at like wiring diagrams of how to like put in 3 and 4 players.
Oh man, wow, you just had the worst time, and you probably like, okay, let's be real. When did you play it for the first time? Was it today?
Yeah, it was today about 5 o'clock.
I figured as much. So you didn't give yourself too much time to really figure it out either. Huh? You just kind of went for
spoiler alert, it didn't matter when I would play it. I'd get the same amount of time.
You just did it once and that was it, huh?
I played it a couple days ago, but I mean, I still didn't care enough to play it further or research it more because I feel like I already played the game, all it had to offer within that session. So
Fair enough.
I actually tried looking into it a little bit just because I try to get the most information I can out of the game so I have more to talk about or just more to, just to discuss. But I did play the whole way through how you beat it, beat the 5, and then you have to do another 5 matches. I did that twice, and I actually played the Royal Rumble mode just to see what that was all about. So I put a little bit into it.
I definitely put some studying into it before I played it for a few reasons. Number one, I am a wrestling fan. I actually was kind of excited to play this game, being a wrestling fan. Number two, I wanted to know what I was doing. I wanted to be prepared. Number three, I am so sick and tired of being in last place every single time we do these. So I just wanted to give myself a chance here.
it's your time to shine.
I hope it is, man. Maybe it is. We'll see. God forbid. I swear, every week or every other week, I guess, we come on here and you guys are talking, and the way you're talking, I'm like, okay, maybe they did a little bit worse than me. And then, no, that's never the case. You guys just made it sound worse than what it actually is. Killing me. So, a few other random things about the game. Did anybody ever notice the power-up that your teammate can get if your teammate is on the apron for a certain amount of time? And I believe it just says the word power-up or something like that above their name. And if you tag them in, they essentially win all their grapples for a temporary amount of time. Did anybody take advantage of that at all?
Yeah, I did a little bit.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
I don't even know how to tag people in.
Oh,
You
man.
never tagged in.
I mean, he would jump in sometimes. I don't know
my
why
God.
he did.
And you beat. I hope you beat it. Oh my God, I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't.
No, I beat it, but I didn't have any fun.
If you just keep pumping coins in, you can just press A for a couple, you know what I mean? Like a half
Yeah.
hour, you'll win eventually.
Yeah.
And that's kind of one of the interesting things I wanted to go over about this game is that you kind of have options on the way that you use your coins because, so as we said, there's like a stamina or an energy bar. And if you insert a coin, it recovers your energy bar back to full. Now, you can do that at any time you want. If you feel like your energy's too low, you want a bit more, you can put a coin in. I believe if you lose the match, then you can just put a coin in or restart the match. I never actually got to that point. I always used it whenever I was maybe getting pinned or getting counted out or something, and I had no energy and knew I had no shot. That's when I would put a coin in just to make sure I didn't lose the match in the first place. I don't know how you guys did it though.
Yeah, that's pretty much the same thing I did. I'd only use it when I had pretty much 0 energy when I was about to get pinned. As soon as I'm down, he gets like a 1, he's about to get a 2 count, I drop a coin, hop right back up, and then I'm back in at full bar.
I think I did it a little bit earlier, just because I was afraid if you pinned me, I didn't know if I could actually continue after that, and I did not want to play the game over again. So,
Oh man.
I think I did it early just because I didn't want to have to redo everything.
I would just use a continue after I had like lost the match. I didn't realize I could just get my energy back, and I made it to the final, like the 2 guys, the last 2 Lord dudes,
Legion of Doom.
Legion of Doom guys,
Hawk and Animal.
and I'm like in the middle of that match, and the game froze on me,
Oh no.
and so
Oof.
I was like, all right, I'm gonna try this one more time, and I get back through it. I get back to Legion of Doom guys. I think I died to them like 3 times. And then I just stopped playing.
So did you not finish it?
I didn't even finish it.
Oh man.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
you pretty much finished it though. If you beat the first match, you beat the 5th match. It's the same thing.
Dude.
No, actually, it's really not. So the Legion of Doom does have a significantly larger stamina bar, and they win the grapple significantly more often. So it is definitely a beefed up match for sure. So I get it. It was certainly harder.
Yeah, everything just felt like, how many times do I want to press this same button until something different happens? 'Cause, like, even the grapples were like, I'm pressing it the same, what appears to be the same amount every single time I get into a grapple, and it's just like a coin flip. It's like there's no rhyme or reason to why you win this grapple and when you don't. It's just like super awkward. I was like, what is going on here?
It is a button masher, but it does seem kind of random sometimes, especially against Legion of Doom. They just win in the grapples all the time.
I also try to do, I assume you guys know, but you didn't mention it, that you can press both buttons at the same time, and you can like run around the ring, like bounce off the ropes.
Yep, that's how you run the ropes.
So I don't think that worked. I don't think it worked a single time. Every single time I do it, the guy just somehow knows, and he stands there and just throws you over his back. I was like, what is this move even for, dude? I lose it every time.
They always seem to like offset. Like if I'm running in a line, they would just be like 2 steps down, and they would just stand there like all day until I'd stopped running, so I couldn't hit them with it.
Yeah, they would either do that or like that. I noticed that. That's why I would wait till they got like really close to me and then try to do it. But then once I like actually ran into them, they would just like flip me over their back. I was like, who is this move for, dude?
Yeah, you can either, as you said, press both buttons together simultaneously to run the ropes, and then I guess you just have to like hit one of the buttons to do like a diving attack, like a drop kick or something at them. Or also, if you grapple with them, then you can press the kick button while you're grappling, and that will Irish whip the opponent into the rope. And that was actually really effective in the cage matches, if you guys didn't know that, because if you whip them against the ropes in the cage match, instead of bouncing back, they'll just hit the steel cage, and I'm pretty sure that does increase damage to them.
Yeah, I definitely never did that.
The cage level was like weird. I mean, there was just like a giant cage in your face the whole time.
Yeah, it kind of messes with your view a little bit, I suppose. So this game, I don't know, this one was weird for me. So a lot of the games that we've been doing so far, I've been doing on my laptop. Like I have my arcade cabinet, but it's been easier just to play with my controller, my USB controller plugged into my computer. But this one I noticed, I did my first playthrough on my laptop, and then I switched to my actual arcade cabinet for my playthrough after that, and it felt so much better for this game. I don't know what maybe it's the button mashing that I liked a lot more on the actual cabinet, but did you do this one on your cabinet at all, Brad, or did you just do it on like your Steam Deck or your computer or something?
For this, I mostly did my Steam Deck just because I was on the go. I didn't really have much time, but I could imagine this would be much better on the arcade, like you said, just being able to mash the button, because it's not like a precision platformer, so it's not like the joystick is that important. You can kind of be reckless with it and just keep smashing A. I could definitely see that being a little more fun.
It is an arcade game, of course, but this is more than any game we've played so far, one that you definitely want to play on the actual cabinet. It just feels way more natural.
Yeah, one of the things whenever you do get in the grapples, like how you would just keep mashing A, it felt like I tested it because I was like, dude, there's no way that I'm doing this as hard as I can. I feel like I should be winning this, and sometimes they would still beat you. So obviously, I guess it could be due to you not hitting it fast enough. So I went on my Steam Deck and turned it on a turbo button just to test it, and I held it in like rapid as fast as it could be, and sometimes they would still beat you. So there's just some grapples that no matter what you do, you're gonna lose them, which was kind of garbage.
Yeah, that does seem to be the case, especially in the final match against LOD, that every now and then there's a grapple that you're just going to lose no matter what. And I can imagine maybe your stamina might have something to do with that as well. Maybe if you have very low stamina, you're going to lose the grapple more often. That's kind of what I assumed. I don't know if that's for sure the case, but I just kind of figured it was.
That would make sense.
Yeah. So do you guys have any history with being wrestling fans at all? I know a lot of people were like more so wrestling fans as kids and then grew out of it. Do you guys have any history with the WWE or WWF at all?
Not really. I don't think I was ever really a fan of it. Now I'm definitely not a fan of it.
Oh, come on, man.
I just think by the time we discovered wrestling, I think we were already like sort of old enough that we like immediately understood that like everything was fake about it. But we were like young enough where it was like I realized it's fake.
Scripted.
Okay, same thing. Well,
No.
we were young enough to realize it was scripted, but like not old enough to realize that like the intention was for it to be scripted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like we were just kind of looking at it like, is this for serious? Like, do they expect me to believe that this is real? And so I just never really got into it. I don't know.
Yeah, I was definitely like a huge fan as a little kid, especially like The Undertaker and stuff, man. He was the man. But as like a little kid, whenever you still believe in it, that's for sure when it's the best. And then as I got older, when I was in like middle school age or so, then of course, like everybody else, I was way too cool for something like that. And then I don't know, man. I kind of just got back into it again as an adult, man. I kind of turned into a big wrestling nerd. So I mean, I guess that's the reason I picked this game for us, as much as you guys hate me for it.
So I don't mind wrestling at all, really. I'm not into it, but like if it's on around me, like it's just whatever. I think it's actually pretty funny. A lot of the stuff they do and say, like it's definitely entertaining.
Oh yeah,
There's a lot of funny moments and stuff. But I think when we were little, like our uncles used to watch it at our grand's house, so like it'd be on TV a lot of the times when we went to her house. But I never really got into it.
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, and I want to be clear, Jordan. We don't hate you. We're just disappointed.
Oh, it's so much worse.
I didn't know if either of them were going to bring this up, but I don't know. Scott's got to remember. I'm sure Kyle does too. When we were younger, like we said, none of us were really into wrestling, but I don't know why Scott started doing it, but he would hold his hands over his head in a diamond.
Oh yeah,
he would do. It was one of the dude's moves, I guess. I don't know, but he would yell self high five, wow, and then he would smash his hands over your head. So there was a little bit of trauma from wrestling for us.
It sounds like he's doing a
That's
little
right.
Diamond Dallas Page.
That's
man.
what it was. Yeah,
Yeah.
DDP from WCW, man.
that's
He
probably
was
on
the
TV.
man.
I probably saw that and thought it was funny. And I started hitting everybody with it.
Fun fact for everybody out there: Diamond Dallas Page did not start training for wrestling until he was in his 30s.
So we still got time, huh?
All
Yeah.
right, here we
Yeah,
go.
dude, it's not too late. We're all in our 30s. We can start it up. Dude, DDP was the man. I loved him.
I forgot all about that. That's funny.
I never forgot, Scott.
I definitely didn't forget that.
He still covers his head.
It was him and our cousin TJ
Yeah,
running around doing that all the time.
Oh man.
It seems like it wouldn't be that bad, but you get a solid smack on the top of the head, dude. That one hurt.
yeah.
Dude, my brother and I, we did this, like, they say don't try this at home. We tried the hell out of this at home, my brother and I. And he's the older one, so of course he was always the one kicking my ass. Dude, like on mattresses, on our trampoline, nonstop. It was just always doing wrestling moves on each other. And I was as I said, he was older, he was always bigger. I was always getting my ass kicked as a child. So this is a random thought, but obviously anyone listening to this outside of our town wouldn't know what I'm talking about. Do you guys remember the Dairy Queen that used to be on the boulevard right beside Haas's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember that there used to be a wrestling arcade game in there whenever we were little kids?
I don't remember that. No.
I don't remember.
I really wish I knew if it was this game. I don't remember at all, but I definitely remember playing the hell out of a wrestling game there that they had. And I really hope it's this one. Because I know damn well I didn't beat it back then.
How many different ones are there?
I mean, there's this, and then there's the prequel to it. I think there's like something called like Fire Pro Wrestling or something too, which I think is more just like it's not real people. It's kind of just like a generic thing. I could be wrong though. I definitely remember there being a wrestling game, and I think it might be the one that was at the Dairy Queen that had like really generic wrestlers in it. And I remember specifically a guy that wore like this weird pink like morph suit with like a blue star on his face. If we can like look this up, we got it figured out. But I remember, what was it? I think it says like some weird like poorly translated Japanese thing at the end of the game. If you beat it, like a winner is you or something like that. If you win,
Just some weird knockoff version.
if you Google a winner is you will see exactly what I'm talking about.
When I stumbled into the schematics of the game, it looked like it was like listing a bunch of other arcade games that were out there, and there were like 10 or 15 different ones that it listed.
Jeez.
Yeah, I bet there's a bunch. Did you guys ever play like any other wrestling games besides for this one, like back in the past, or no? Like even like home games, not even just like arcade games.
This may shock you, but no.
But no.
I don't recall, if so, very briefly, but nothing that stuck, nothing I can recall.
Yeah.
Listen, man, the N64 wrestling games were absolute peak 90s video games, okay? I spent, oh my god, I can't even tell you how much of my time as a kid playing like the WCW games for N64. I was obsessed with those suckers back in the day. Now, I mean, they're obviously not as great as WWF Wrestlefest, don't get me wrong, but, you know.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You know what, dude?
What?
Playing this game reminded me of like whenever you're watching like a action movie and like the action star is getting like beat up, right? Like he's getting hit by every single like kick and punch that's coming his way for like 3 minutes straight. So he's like can't see and he's bleeding everywhere. And then just for no reason, like starts winning the fight. Even, you know what I mean? Like when you should be like down and out like and just over, he just now all of a sudden starts fighting back and winning. And that's what this felt like when I was like grappling with these guys. I have like full stamina. I've been like winning the match somehow. And then like for no reason they just start winning grapples and start beating me up.
Yeah, I was gonna say something like I would just be like dominating them, and then like I assumed that meant like they were low or they were like gonna be defeated. They would start holding their stomach and walking over to their corner, and then I'd chase him down like this is my time to get him, and then he would just turn around and just beat the shit out of me. Out of nowhere, and I'd be on the ground. He'd pick me up. He'd like flip me over his head, drop me like 3 times in a row. I'm like, dude, I was just about to pin this guy. Now I just lost the match. I don't understand what just happened.
Yeah, when I saw them kind of sulking away into the corner like that, really weak, like you said, yeah, I smelled blood and I would go for it pretty hard. But yeah, it kind of seems like the game is programmed to like not let you completely just run away with it at any point in time. Like maybe it'll let you get a good advantage for a while and then it says, okay, that's enough. We kind of got to balance this out a little bit. That's the way I see it.
Well, Jordan already mentioned earlier why that happens. It's because that match was scripted for you to lose.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
That's what it was.
It's Vince McMahon's fault.
It's part of the
Vince's
storyline,
fault,
man. It's part of the storyline.
Scripted grappling.
Vince McMahon is up to it again, dude. That's another guy who sucks in real life, but we're not gonna get into all that.
I don't follow it enough to know anything about any of them, so.
Oh yeah, if any of y'all want to know any stories, I'll tell you how awful some of these people are. Oh man, well, I'm glad you guys had a great time playing this game, especially Kyle, who I'm assuming this is going to be his number 1 in his rankings, but I guess we'll get to that pretty soon here.
Yeah, I'm actually, as we speak, I'm filling out an online petition to remove this arcade from anywhere that it still exists.
Kyle, listen, dude. This is pretty much exactly how I felt about JJ Squawkers, but I tried to get through it and just talk about it like a normal person, okay? But you do you, Kyle.
Dude, I just looked it up and you can buy this arcade for $4,500.
Ooh.
Oh my god. Like an original one. I think this was a game that got an arcade 1-up too.
That's insane.
Next time we go to Jordan's house, he's going to have that sitting in the corner.
He's going to have it.
Nah, dude, I already got that one arcade
You
with
do?
everything on it anyway.
I'm going to pay you the $4,500. I'm going to destroy it.
Deal. Let's do it. I'm in. All right, guys. You have any other thoughts before we move on to our next few segments here?
Yeah, we didn't talk about fighting outside the ring. Did any of you guys end up doing that? Get tossed out and like...
Mm-hmm.
Not very much at all, so I'll kind of let you go with that one if you want.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's a ton to it, but a couple times I got thrown out of the ring, and then sometimes both the guys would come out, but sometimes it was only one. But if it was just you and your teammate outside the ring against the one enemy, you guys could just trash him. There was nothing he could really do, and his teammate just like stood in the ring. You had like, it was 20 seconds before you timed out and the match would end, and you would just lose instantly. But yeah, there were like weapons out there and stuff, and you could... Seemed like those really hurt him. You could smash him pretty hard with that, and it did a good chunk of damage, I think. I mean, you didn't have a health bar to see, but it seemed like it really put a number on him.
Which should be a disqualification, but that's okay. Yeah, I mean, I got thrown out of the ring a handful of times, but I didn't know how to throw them out myself. I kind of just got tossed out, and then typically if that happened to me, rather than try to fight them out there, since there was the 20-second count out timer, I immediately just tried to get back in the ring right away. I didn't waste any time out there.
Yeah, I didn't mess around out there at all.
I always tried to stay out as long as I could just to keep on getting as much. The one time, both the guys came out, and my teammate like was beating the other guy down, and the timer was almost up, and I threw the other guy on the ground, and it was like 18 seconds. I hopped back in, and the enemy got a timeout. I didn't know it was possible, and I ended up winning the match from them being out of the ring.
Yep, you can win by count out as well. Pin, submission, or count out.
Yeah, I got thrown out there, and I was picking like the weapons up. One's that looks like a stair. It's like 3 or 4 steps you can pick up.
Yep, steel stairs.
And there was something else there, but I was picking them up, and like every time I pressed the attack button, I thought I was attacking. My guy would just like drop it. He just kept picking it up and dropping it.
So I guess one button is to drop it, and one button's to attack with it, probably.
I don't know. I know I never hit anybody with it. He picked it up and hit me.
Fair
and
enough.
took like half my stamina away.
Maybe you had to be in like range with them. I'm not too sure.
I think there was only one time I ever actually got counted out.
Yeah, I did time out once
And that was frustrating.
because I got like thrown out a couple times, and I would fight out there, and I assumed it was like a 10-second timer, so I'd get back in, and then one time it ended up being like 12 seconds, and I climbed back in, and I was like, how long can I just stay out here? So I stayed out there for the whole time until it timed me out.
Yeah, there was the one time where I was like, so as we said, if a character gets beat up enough, he'll kind of walk extremely slowly, like holding his gut kind of. And there was one time where it got to like 17 seconds or something, and then the opponent jumped back in the ring, and my guy was moving like that, so I couldn't get back in time. And that made me so mad because I was pretty far into the match at that point.
Yeah, I timed out just by trying to push it to the last second. I'd hop in at like 19, and it wasn't enough time for my guy to actually climb through, and I had to start the match over. That
Yeah.
always sucks.
Did anybody like jump off the top ropes?
I only ever climbed the ropes on accident
Yeah, same.
when I was trying to tag.
Yeah, I tried to do it. It was so hard to do effectively because anytime you would try to do it, it seemed like they would. I think you just go in the corner. I think you just hold in the corner and you climb up it. I'm not. I've done it a few times, but I could never actually make use of it. Every time I tried to do it, I'd jump in the ring to try to like hit the guy, and he would stand up and just go, "Well, that sucks."
There's
Yeah.
a lot of stuff you're like expected to know. Like they don't explain any moves. Just like you either know them or you try to figure them out. I'm sure there's combos. I felt like I would just like mash buttons. So I'm sure there's probably like Street Fighter combos to do certain moves, but I have no idea.
I don't think there is. I
Yeah, I
think
don't
it's
think so.
legitimately it's legitimately just your button mashing, and based on how much stamina the enemy has, it's what kind of move you hit them with.
That's what it seems like to me. Random. Like I don't know if there are combos. Somebody else who actually knows about the game, maybe they know.
Yeah.
Like when the enemy's on the ground, you could press both buttons at the same time. I'm assuming everyone's move is different, but I think with Mr. Perfect, he was like elbow dropping people.
So I think if you press both buttons at the same time when they're on the ground, it's supposed to go for a submission hold. And I did win a few matches by submission.
Yeah, dude. My second playthrough, I was crushing with the submissions.
Yeah. And you can also, every now and then, an enemy will get stunned while they're standing up. If you go behind them and press a certain button, it'll put them in a headlock. You can submit them that way as well.
I think when you do a submission, I don't think the other guy can jump in like they do when there's a pin. I didn't notice that ever happening. It was always just a one-on-one.
I think they can. Maybe you just got lucky. I'm pretty sure they can.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna get more into it when we talk about our credits. But my one run, I did 3 submissions in a row and did 3 matches in a row that way, and no one ever stopped me. I was just
Wow.
dominating.
You got lucky, I think.
We'll see.
Speaking of jumping in, I think I have to point this out. I think probably the most annoying thing in this game to me was, so I would typically keep my guy in the ring for a little while until his health was getting down a bit. And I would try to keep my other guy on the apron to build his stamina back up. But obviously, if you go for a pin, if you're getting pinned, go for a submission, whatever, and everybody jumps back in the ring, that's great and everything until the guy that you have on the apron whose stamina you're trying to rebuild, he comes in the ring, gets his ass kicked, and then his stamina starts dropping because of that. So your energy can't build up that way then. That drove me nuts.
Yeah, I try to do the same kind of strategy. When someone got low, I'd tag in the other guy so you could try to let him recharge. But like you said, if he came back in, then it kind of ruined that whole process.
Yep, I wanted my guy to be as high of stamina as he could be whenever I tagged him in, but every now and then they jump in the ring to help you out, they get their butts kicked, and it kind of ruins everything. But, I mean, that's about all the thoughts I have for the game. Anything else from you guys?
No, I think I've said my piece.
I think you have definitely said your piece, man.
I'm all good.
I just think the music was pretty awesome.
Oh, of course.
The music
It was
was
definitely
awesome.
pretty old school. It was very old school and bassy.
The graphics were actually pretty good too.
Yeah, I mean it's cartoony, but it's really colorful and it's kind of fun.
Those cutscenes were pretty neat.
Yeah, with like Mean Gene Okerlund interviewing Legion of Doom and stuff in between the matches.
Like, that stuff was pretty cool. I liked all that.
It's time to fight with a powerful challenge. We snack on danger, dine on death. You bury every double-faced dick we face. Yeah!
I just couldn't get into the gameplay itself.
Yeah, that's fair. You can enjoy the presentation and not enjoy the game. That's a thing. No biggie. But yeah, if that's our last thought, then Brad, this is your time to shine now. So we're gonna move on to your segment. You ready for that?
Sure am.
Let's do it, man. Numbers with Brad. Take it away, my friend.
All right, we're going to start off with our credit usage. Let's see how many credits it took everyone to beat. We're just doing the first 5 matches until you beat Legion of Doom the first time. How much did it take you guys to beat him?
Well, I think I had like 4 credits while I was like up to fighting the Legion of Doom for the second time, and then I just quit.
Oh, yeah,
So,
that's right.
I don't know how you wanna handle tacking on something extra, but I did not finish this game.
We'll see how everyone else did them. We'll see what's fair.
Guy, how'd you do?
I probably used more than I needed to just because I used them early. I didn't wait till I lost a match. I got like kind of low stamina, and then I would just use the credits so I could get powered up again. But when I beat the game, I used 10 credits total.
All right. Well, if I'm next, I'm gonna bring in another one of my wrestling friends to kind of give my answer for this one. So, hey, Stone Cold, you here? All right. I said I put in 1 coin. What? I put in 2 coins. What? I put in a 3rd token. What? A 4th. What? And then Stone Cold put in a 5th token and opened up a can of whoop ass on the Legion of Doom to win the tag titles with Mr. Perfect and Jake the Snake Roberts. Oh, hell yeah. So that's 5 tokens for you, boys.
That was more
Oh,
entertaining
man.
than this entire game.
Oh, wow.
Listen, man, I knew you guys didn't enjoy the game, so I knew I had to add some flair to the podcast, man.
I was just looking forward to your voices, honestly.
Thank you, man. Thank you very much. I feel like that wasn't my best Stone Cold, but it got the job done.
It's good enough.
Thank you, thank you.
And for me, I played through it twice. My first time doing it took me 7 credits, and then the next time through, I beat it in 3 credits.
Jeez.
My second run, how I used Sergeant Slaughter and Mr. Perfect. Dude, I don't know if I know there's like some of the characters move faster. I don't know if they're stronger or anything, but I would just keep on like holding it up and keep hitting A. With Sergeant Slaughter, my guy would like slowly shift up, and the enemy could like never touch me. I would just drop them, and then, like I said, I would just keep submitting them. The first 3 matches, they didn't even get to tag their partner in, and I just submitted them before anything else even happened.
I did read that Mr. Perfect is apparently the fastest character in the game.
Okay.
I don't know if I noticed that necessarily, like personally, but that's what I read somewhere, so.
I definitely noticed it whenever I had Sergeant Slaughter and Mr. Perfect. When I switched, Mr. Perfect would cruise across that ring so fast.
So yeah, probably then. I loved using Mr. Perfect, man. He's the man.
Oh, and it doesn't really count, but I did the Royal Rumble. I beat that in 3 credits with Earthquake. Just to throw that in there. That was okay, but it seemed like you
Nice.
couldn't just like hide. Like I was trying to just like wait him out, but then like the timer would run out, so you'd have to throw a credit in to get your timer back up.
So your final score for like the official score is 3 tokens, you said?
Yeah.
I'm bummed out, man. My second playthrough that I did on the actual arcade cabinet, I got to the Legion of Doom match with only 2 tokens used, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm killing it. But damn, man, they just kicked my ass on that one, dude. I spent so many tokens beating them.
Yeah, they were definitely a bit harder than the other matches.
Oh yeah.
All right, and let's rate this. This one, I didn't really have anything too creative. We're just gonna go out of 10 because there's 10 playable characters, and to officially like beat the game, you got to go through 10 rounds. So 2 things pointed to 10. We're just rating her out of 10.
I can't wait to hear Kyle's. I want him to go first.
I mean, I feel like I'm gonna give it a 2.
Okay, 2.
It's only not getting a 1 because after this discussion, I realized that there's a couple things maybe I didn't know that would have made it maybe a little better.
I'd say go try it again, but I know you won't.
Let me clear my schedule.
You can take some time off of Fortnite and Halo for a bit, man.
So this would get a 1 if I just played it and then had to rate it immediately by myself. But after the discussion, it's gonna get a solid 2.
Solid.
That's twice as high.
Yeah, double.
That's true. That's a good way to look at it.
I was actually just gonna give it a big fat goose egg,
Oh man.
but
Jeez.
I actually ended up also going with 2, like Kyle said, just because obviously I sucked at the game and I didn't put enough time in to actually get good at it. And I can see how this would be fun for people that actually like wrestling, and if you're sitting around with your buddies doing like actual like couch co-op playthrough, that might be kind of fun.
Mhm.
So it has like maybe potential to be a little bit fun with a group of people, but I personally don't like it at all. So I'm sitting at a 2 also.
Fair enough. Fair enough. See, I mean, of course, I had a good time with it. I mean, it's more my speed of game. Like I do kind of prefer games that move a little bit slower and give you more time to think about what you're doing, as opposed to like the run and gun and platformers and whatnot we've done so far. And I am a wrestling fan, as you know, I said a million times before. But I think the main thing that kind of docks points from the game for me is kind of that randomness factor with the grapples. How you can't always win them, even if it seems like you should. It does kind of seem unfair at times, but I still had a fun time. I'm giving it a 7 out of 10.
Okay. Yeah, I think like you said, with you being a wrestling fan and having nostalgia for wrestling in general, that era, I'm sure that definitely would make a big difference in our ratings if we were more into wrestling in general.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna give it the same amount of tokens I use. I'm giving it a 3 out of 10. It was just so boring in general, just super repetitive, you know. I mean,
Damn.
if like I said, if you liked wrestling, I could see the draw there. But I was pretty disappointed I didn't even get to choke slam anyone through a table. I was hoping I could at least do that.
Damn.
Like,
Oh, we gotta get you WWE 2K, whatever it is now. You can do it then.
all right, maybe we'll get a higher score in that game.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I enjoyed it. I get why you guys didn't, and I mean the whole repetitive thing. 100%. It's extremely repetitive. You're doing basically the same thing every match. But I think, thankfully, it's not very long. It doesn't take you a long time to get through those 5 matches. Maybe, I don't know, like 20 minutes or so. So it is repetitive, but at least you're not doing it for hours on end.
Right, but the other downside to that is that, I mean, we only did 5, but technically you're supposed to do 10. If you actually want to beat it, you want to put your score up on that board, you have to go
Yeah.
through that whole thing a second time. I'm just saying, you were throwing some shade on JJ Squawkers for being a lazy boss rush. This was a pretty lazy, just do the game again with no change at all.
I wouldn't say it's lazy.
That's so lazy. They could
It
have.
just is what wrestling
That's
is.
the definition of lazy.
This is literally the same thing 10 times.
They couldn't have done much more. Just is what it is.
I don't. Maybe they should have talked to the JJ Squawk. They should have talked to Athena and see what they thought. Got some ideas from that developer.
All right, so let's develop our own wrestling game on an acid trip, boys. Then it'll be it'll have all the best parts of Squawkers and WWF Wrestlefest.
So I mean, I guess we gotta put this in our rankings, everyone.
The master list.
I mean, I think it's pretty clear where we all want to put this. So I don't know if Jordan's gonna have us pull this up at all.
What's at the last place spot now? Slug.
Yeah, top down, we got Alien Syndrome, Mega Twins, JJ Squawkers, and Metal Slug.
I mean,
Personally, I'm putting this at the very bottom. I thought
Yeah, I was
Slug was
gonna
more
say.
enjoyable than this, and I did not like Slug either.
I can't believe you didn't like Slug.
yeah, for me personally, it'd be dead last. Actually, it wouldn't even be on the list.
Oh man.
Okay, it has to be on the list, Kyle.
I mean, I also like Metal Slug. I liked Metal Slug in general, but I did like it better than this game as well. But what do you? I mean, Jordan, would you put this at number 1 if it was actually completely up to you? Is that how much you like this compared to the other games?
I don't think I'd put it at number 1. I still really enjoyed Slug personally, but I mean, I'd have it obviously higher than Mega Twins and Squawker, but I'm not gonna fight for it to be above last place spot. There's no point. It wouldn't be fair at all to bump it up from the last place spot if 3 of the 4 people won it at dead last.
I mean, that's probably the fair spot. I mean, if anything, I guess you could argue 4th, but I don't know if anyone else would be okay with that.
I think overall Slug is more enjoyable to play
Okay.
as much as I love wrestling, so I'm okay with having Slug above it.
Okay, we'll put it down in 5th.
Works for me.
We got it rated, ranked, and we got our coin usage. So, Jordan, if you're ready to take us into some trivia, let's see what we got for that.
Oh, trivia, boys. I got some good trivia today. I think you guys are going to enjoy this one. we're going to talk about somebody that we talked about a little bit ago here, someone who may have opened the show. But before we get into it, just going to give a quick little recap here. So far for the total score for trivia, Brad has 9 correct guesses, Sky has 7, and Kyle has 6. So, still anybody's race here, boys. You ready to go with question number 1?
Let's
Yep.
do it.
Question number 1. Hulk Hogan is known for making up some pretty outrageous lies over the years. All lies that have been proven false. So, which of the following is something that he did not say? Just to clarify, 2 of the things I'm going to say here for the answers are lies that he actually claimed. Which of these 3 did he not say? A. He was supposed to be the face of the George Foreman grill. B. He was scouted by the New York Yankees. Or C. He was asked to be the Terminator before Arnold Schwarzenegger. Which did he not say?
I'm gonna say the Terminator 1C.
Okay.
I'm gonna guess he didn't say that he was supposed to be the face of the George Foreman grill.
Okay. And Sky?
I think I'm going with the George Foreman grill also.
Alrighty. So, boys, he did say that he was supposed to be the face of the George Foreman grill.
Yeah.
He did say that he was scouted by the New York Yankees. He was not asked to be the Terminator. So that
Wow.
was going to Brad.
Dang.
My initial gut was also the George Foreman because that was kind of the lamest of the 3. But I was like, I feel like
Yeah.
if Jordan made something up, he would have made something more extreme.
Alrighty, so question number 2. So Hulk Hogan is known for making up some pretty outrageous lies over the years that have all been proven false. Which of the following is something that he did not say? A. Vince McMahon once offered him ownership of the WWE. B. He once wrestled 400 days in 1 year. Or C. Elvis Presley was a Hulkamaniac.
I'm gonna give a C again. Elvis Presley was a Hulkamaniac.
Yeah, I'm
Alright.
going with C also.
I mean, my gut wants to definitely pick the one that makes no sense at all,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna go with A.
Alrighty, boys. So Hulk Hogan did claim that he once wrestled 400 days in a year. His excuse for this was that he was wrestling in 2 separate countries. So he said he was wrestling in America and Japan. And, the time zone flip makes it so, multiple times and whatever. He's full of shit. And he did say he also claimed that Elvis Presley was a Hulkamaniac.
Wow.
Now, this is despite the fact he said that Elvis would come watch him wrestle when he was wrestling in Memphis. Elvis Presley died in 1977. Hulk Hogan started wrestling in Memphis in 1979. So the correct answer is A, what Kyle got. Vince McMahon did not offer him ownership of the WWE. Hulk Hogan did not claim that.
Maybe he saw like an impersonator in the audience.
That's what I was gonna say.
2 years after he died, huh?
That's a really
No
good
idea.
impersonator.
Oh yeah, love you Hulk, uh-huh.
Brother. What? That was great.
Oh yeah, brother. Oh.
Oh, well, miss some Hulk Hogan. All right. Let's wrap it up. Question number 3. So Hulk Hogan is known for making up some pretty outrageous lies over the years that have all been proven false. Which of the following is something that he did not say? A. Both Metallica and the Rolling Stones asked Hulk Hogan to be their bass player. B. He beat Mike Tyson in a fight. Or C. Andre the Giant weighed 650 pounds whenever he body slammed him at WrestleMania 3. Which one did he not claim?
I'm going with A.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's what I'm leaning towards.
I'm gonna go with B.
Alrighty. The correct answer. Hulk Hogan did claim that Metallica and the Rolling
Oh,
Stones
God.
asked him to be their bass player.
Jeez.
He specifically said Lars Ulrich asked him in specific to be Metallica's bass player. I believe it was Howard Stern interviewed Lars, and Lars said he'd never even heard of Hulk Hogan, which also kind of sounds like a lie in and of itself, but I'm
Yeah.
going to believe that was never asked. And he also claimed that Andre the Giant was 650 pounds when he body slammed him, despite the fact he was only about 400, 350 or so. So the correct answer is B. He never claimed that he beat Mike Tyson in a fight. So Kyle's getting 2 correct.
Ooh.
Brad's getting 1 correct. That is it for trivia tonight, boys. Total score is going to be Brad with 10, Sky with 7, Kyle's up to 8 now.
Nice.
I knew there was no way that he would claim that he could beat Mike Tyson, and then nothing happened from it.
So actually, I didn't add this part in. So he never fought Mike Tyson, but he did claim that Mike Tyson was scared to fight him.
See, yeah, that's why I thought he did say that, because like just to make himself and wrestling look more legit. Say, oh, I beat Mike Tyson up or whatever.
Apparently, he was supposed to have like a charity fight with George Foreman, and then that's how it kind of happened. Like he's saying about, oh yeah, Mike Tyson was scared to fight me, brother, or whatever. But that's all we got though. That's I wanted to give you guys some nice Hulk Hogan lie facts.
I like that. That's probably the funnest trivia so far.
I think
Of course, dude. He's
next podcast should just be an hour of that.
Dude, Jordan, get writing, man.
Maybe someday we'll just have, whenever we've done enough episodes, we'll just have one like ultimate trivia only episode, and that'll be on there a few more times.
Yeah,
Hulk Hogan
fun.
just beating everybody up.
Oh man, yeah.
Float like a butterfly, sting like a brother.
He probably claims he like fought in like World War II or something too, dude. I don't know. He just says whatever the hell he wants.
He claimed
Man's outrageous.
Rambo was based off of his life.
They made Rambo after me, brother. Sylvester Stallone came to me for ideas, dude. Oh man. Okay, well, that was a fun time. I'm so glad you guys all loved this game as much as I did, especially Kyle. I cannot wait to talk about this with Kyle every time I see him now. I know he just wants to keep talking about it.
Dude, if I had a time machine, I'd go back in time and get my 30 minutes back.
I thought you were gonna say you would go back in time and make them not make this game.
Nope, I just go back about 2 hours ago. Just save,
That was the
save
most
a half
important
hour.
thing.
I'd get like another half hour of sleep or something.
Just opt out of the podcast this week.
We can't have a man down, man. No man left behind. I said it in episode 1. I'll say it again. No man left behind. Kyle, you gotta be here for it, brother. All right, boys, before I close it out, does anybody have any last words? Kyle, you don't count. You're not allowed to talk. Brad or Sky, does anyone have any last words?
Nope, I covered everything I wanted to talk about.
I'm gonna pass it over to Kyle.
Nope.
So
Kyle's
anyways, let me
got
tell you
that.
guys.
All right, boys. Anyway, on the next time on Arcadiology, we have... We would like to thank everyone for listening to this episode of Arcadiology. Please make sure you follow us on social media. We're kind of posting on there now. It's a little sporadic, but we're still doing the thing. At Arcadiology, pretty much everywhere. Instagram, Twitter, I'm not calling it X, Facebook. Brad, I think you're doing TikTok as well, aren't you?
Yep, it's pretty much the same YouTube clips, but I'm getting them in there.
Fair enough, man. Find us anywhere on social media. Leave us, I never mentioned this part either. Leave us podcast reviews, man. Leave us 5-star reviews. If you leave like a nice spicy review on there, maybe I'll read it on the show. Maybe I won't. I don't know, but I probably will if it's not like weird enough. Do it. Leave us reviews. And if no one has anything left to say, go ahead and say goodbye to everybody, boys.
See you later.
Peace.
Later.
Insert closing line here. Goodbye.